Word has come in from Major Blood. Keep an eye out for that John Rambo guy. He's in these parts somewhere. I heard he's pretty badass. A Green Beret. Let's see how he deals with some cobra snakes. There's a big bounty on his reward for his capture. So keep an eye out, trooper. Hey, want a water and give him water, Mick? Well, thanks for that, Rambo. So here we go. Here's a look at Hiya Toys, John Rambo from First Blood. An excellent film, excellent sort of 1982, I believe, action movie. And here's Hiya Toys' first 6-inch offering. I think it's their first 6-inch offering. It's certainly my one to pick up. So welcome back to Tac Tac Toys, your home of all action figures. G.I. Joe Classified, Valorverse Action Force, Operation Monster Force, and in this case, Hiya Toys, John Rambo. So let's have a look at him here. Here he is out the package. So it's kind of just a casual look. This isn't really a review. As you can see here, he comes with a box saying Rambo on it, just in case you weren't sure who he was. And you can store all the accessories in there. I'm doing this review on my bed, so apologies about that. Let's have a look at him from a... Oh, he doesn't even want to stand up. Let's have a look at him from the side. There we go. Now I've put the belt, the sort of bullet buckles, as you call them, on his chest. So I've added that. He does come with that, so you can give him a few different looks. There he is from the back, there he is from the side, and there he is from the front. And let's get his M16, is it? M16 carbine. It's a gun anyway. Let's get his gun into position. So there we go. So yeah, he's quite a cool figure. He does really come with some great Sylvester Stallone sort of facial expressions. Yeah. He's really good and he's really fun. I really enjoy playing with my one. Yeah, and this video is not for kids, so let's get on into it. So here's the packaging. So as you can see here, this is the Rambo packaging, saying First Blood. It's very simple packaging. I have seen the packaging for Rambo Part 2, and it's got more going on, really. It's got more of a, you can actually see Rambo on that packaging, but this is more minimalized. This is more simple. I really like it. I think it works well. So let's have a look at it from the side. It's just blank from the side, as you can see there. We're going to have a look at it from the back in a minute and probably knock Rambo over, I think, accidentally. Well, not yet, but yeah, it says Rambo First Blood, and yeah, and then from the side. So let me know, firstly, let me know if you've got this figure in the comments below. Maybe you're just watching this review. Yeah, there he goes, watching this review, to see what it's like, or maybe you haven't got it and you're interested. I do really like it. I think it's a nice, solid first offering from Hiya Toys, or one of the first offerings in 6-inch scale, I should say. It might be their first offering. I'm really not sure. There he goes again. He does stand well, by the way. Don't let that put you off. He does stand well. I just keep knocking. I'm being a bit clumsy here, really. But yeah, I think it's a really good first offering. I'm interested in the Universal Soldier figures, which will be coming out later. I mean, it's a bit of a forgettable film, Universal Soldier, isn't it? But the figures certainly look good. And well, yeah, like I say, welcome back to Tac Tac Toys, your home of action figure content. In this case, Hiya Toys, John Rambo is the action figure content. So let's talk a little bit more, and let's have a look at what he comes with. And he does come with quite a lot of stuff, actually. So firstly, the head sculpts. You've got the alternative head sculpts. That's kind of more the neutral expression. Again, a really nice Sylvester Stallone likeness. He's got a cloth bandana, which is really good. It's quite fun. He looks just like me, and there we go. There's his other one sort of screaming, "Ah!" kind of screaming, and he's got blood, coming down the side of his face. But I would put this one on, to be honest, but I kind of didn't want a bleeding expression all the time. Then you've got the sort of bullet bandanas, so he does come with a few of those. Now, obviously, I think, as far as I'm aware, the bullet bandanas go on the sort of t-shirt, which is underneath the poncho. You've got this, I want to say M16 as well. Big gun, there we go. I'm not a gun guy. Big gun with bullets, so you've got that as well. What else have we got? We've got a kind of, I think, a sniper rifle. Yeah, sniper rifle. So yeah, again, I can't even remember if he used all these in the film. He must have done. But was this the police officer's rifle that he stole and used? God, I can't remember, to be honest with you. But it is a great film. It's a really, really good film, First Blood. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend checking it out. It's more of a sort of grounded action film compared to some of the action films we've got in later years. This is the stick. Now, what you can do with this, there's a kind of attachment you can put on the top, which is like a rag attachment or cloth, or it simulates cloth. It's plastic, obviously, and then the knife can go into that for that scene when he's kind of in the woods and he's surviving and the National Guard have come after him. That's his walkie-talkie, where he talks to his senior officer on that walkie-talkie. So that's the part that goes into the actual stick. You'll see me trying to put it in the stick in a moment, but I think the knife he's holding goes into the other end, but I didn't realise that at the time of doing the video. So yeah, you can do that. Yeah, no, it's a nice bunch of accessories, you know, again. I mean, where does Hiya Toys differ from Mezco? There you go. So as you can see there, it goes into the top. It's like tape. It looks like duct tape that's been rolled around the top. So maybe where Hiya Toys differs from Mezco 112 is they're probably, you know, they do feel a bit different in hands. So you can see some bullets there. He comes with a lot of different hand expressions. They're generally sort of gripping expressions. So yeah, so you'll see all those sort of shown in a minute. But yeah, it does feel like an import figure, as it should do. I mean, it is, I guess, technically an import figure. But yeah, it's there we go. What kind of hands have we got there? Sort of, I guess I can't even see them actually. Probably well, a pair of hands. There we go. Some hands, kind of like fisted hands. There you go. And you can see all sorts of different hands as well. Yeah, and we'll have some more coming up in a minute. And these are kind of more gripping hands. So again, you've got sort of slightly open palmed hands, fisted hands, all that kind of good stuff. So you can have a lot of different expressions. I tend to put these in a bag, and unless it's like a martial arts character, I don't tend to use these that much. Depends really. I mean, some of my martial arts characters I've tended to use these on a bit more. So fisted hands, you know, say like when I've had G.I. Joe Classified quick kick, things like that, where they come with a lot of hands. I'll definitely use different hands. Or say like Dalsim from Street Fighter 2, he's got the open palm and the fisted hands on his stretched hands. Anyway, digressing there. So yeah, you can see a lot of different hand options. You've got the kind of, yeah, like I say, open palm hand options. Well, that's the kind of gripping hand. That's like for a knife or something, isn't it? Gripping hand option for a knife. And yeah, this is kind of like trigger finger options. So again, plenty of different options, hand options, a few different head sculpts, a few different bullet options. This can all be stored in a box as well that he comes with, by the way. So he's got a bag you can store it all in. Fist options there for a good fisting. Or yeah, and then kind of like this is like a, well, what should we call this, an option? A gripping option. That's probably the most PG way of saying it. Yeah, and then what else? What are we going to look at now? Let's have a look. Okay, the articulation. So let's have a look into articulation. So head goes up and down, as you can see there, side to side. You can do a full 360 sort of like Exorcist type thing if you wanted to, but you can stabbing himself there, so this might be game over for the review. In the neck, you've got, yeah, like a full sort of wrist rotation. Not much rotation, not much articulation on the chest, funnily enough, I noticed, but which I hadn't noticed before. You got full shoulder rotation there. Now this is obviously a cloth goods figure, to keep that in mind. Double jointed elbows. Yeah, legs go out. Yeah, you can see you got bend at the knee. You've got ankle articulation. You have got thigh cuts, I believe, because I'll try it again. Yeah, double jointed knee. Yeah, thigh cuts, so there you go. But again, it is cloth goods, so it will hinder a bit of articulation sort of on the jeans and that. There we go. I'm going to do a 360 degree, so head turn, so he's been possessed. And there we go. Yeah, arms sort of go round and round, and yeah, a lot of good articulation. It's a very good first offering from Hiya Toys, or one of their first offerings, and they'll only get better. You have to remember they're only going to get better as they release more and more sort of 6-inch figures. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've ever had any sort of 3.75 Hiya Toys figures in your collection. If you have, let me know in the comments below. I'm a 112 guy, or a 6-inch collector, so this is my first Hiya Toys figure, and it's pretty good. I've got to say, I do really like it. Yeah, I think, you know, it's a solid, fun offering. It looks like John Rambo. It looks like Sylvester Stallone. You can instantly recognise who it is and what film it's, you know, that it's come from Rambo. Speaking of which, just in case you weren't sure, it has a big black box saying Rambo on it, but this is where you can store the accessories. So let's move Rambo out of the way a little bit and we can see a bit further. Yeah, so again, this comes with the figure. It makes a nice stand, so you can stand on this. It does open up. Let's have a look at the back. So yeah, First Blood came out in 1982 from Studio Canal. Very, very good film, I've got to say. You know, very, very enjoyable film. This came out in China in 2023, so last year. Although the dates they put on action figures always do tend to be a little sort of out of behind or out of date. So as you can see, the box opens there. You can store everything you've just seen in the box if you want to, or you can put it in a plastic bag that it came with, or store the plastic bag in the box if you want to. It's really up to you, but I use this as a stand. So yeah, that's John Rambo essentially. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to smash the like button. Feel free to comment and subscribe, and we'll have a look at some comparisons. So as you saw the Cobra Troopers earlier in the video, let's have a look at G.I. Joe Classified Cobra Trooper. Here he is next to Hiya Toys John Rambo. Now obviously we're getting a retro Cobra Trooper that will be slightly different colour scheme to this, but yeah, This is essentially how a G.I. Joe classified figure stacks up to your Hiya Toys John Rambo. So pretty much the same. I do feel like Rambo looks like he could be a bit small, but he isn't. I mean, he isn't. He's, you know, he is in scale with your 6-inch figures. So, I mean, you have to remember Hiya Toys are an import company as far as I'm aware, and import companies do tend to scale a little bit smaller. Let's go from G.I. Joe to Action Force. This is Valaverse Action Force. This is Sergeant Slaughter, maggots! And this is the version 1 or Series 1 Sergeant Slaughter we've got here. So yeah, again, I think they scale up really well. They scale up really good. They'll look really good on the shelf together, on your display shelf, or any action figure toy photography you take. Or if you just want to play with your figures like me. You saw me playing with the figures on camera at the beginning there a little bit. I do like to play with my figures. So, and why not? That's what action figures are for. So, yeah, so I mean, here we go. Here's how they scale Valaverse Action Force. Let's do a comparison with Marvel Legends and Spider-Man in particular. This is the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. So here you go. It's kit bashed a little bit. I've put the retro head on. But yeah, that's essentially how Marvel Legends stacks up with your Rambo Hiya Toys. So if you wanted to have some kind of Marvel Legends, let's say things like maybe the Nick Fury 3-pack with Dum Dum Dugan and Agent 13, or Winter Soldier, or any sort of, or Black Widow, any kind of maybe military style Marvel Legends characters, or your Hydra and AIM soldiers. If you wanted John Rambo to go up against your Hydra and AIM soldiers, then you could do. Now this is an older figure. I picked this up at Comic-Con at LFCC, which has just gone by. It's a Spawn figure. I think it's from around 1998, 1997. I was about 17 back then. But yeah, this is like a manga Spawn. So this is technically 6-inch scale, but as you can see, it's sort of pretty small for a manga, for like a Gundam or whatever it's supposed to be. But yeah, and the articulation is a bit limited. It's not like modern articulation, but it's just a nostalgia hit for me. I remember having this figure back in the day. It was quite cheap at LFCC, so I picked it up on the Friday. And going with another sort of figure that's quite old. By modern standards anyway, we've got a look here at the Spawn Original Line Cygor. Now, the new Cygor from McFarlane Toys is pretty disappointing in my opinion. Mine fell apart out the package. So again, I saw this at MCM in May, from the same vendor actually that I picked up the Manga Spawn figure from back in LFCC. So I picked this guy up, again a very good price, and yeah, I mean, this is essentially, you know, this is 6-inch, so over to you, Sly. So it's like a gorilla, you know, Mick. Yeah, thanks, Sly. And here we've got a look at Spiro Toys. So this is Spiro Toys Animal Warriors The Kingdom. This is Pale, I believe, the sort of good guy character. So one last look, there you go, at how Spiro Toys, which is a 6-inch line, they are kind of a bit bulkier, sort of apes and animals. Plenty more of those coming. That's how it scales with Hiya Toys. So yeah, a few different looks at a few different lines there, excuse me, and how they scale with Hiya Toys. So I'm really happy with Rambo. If you want Rambo to be a bit bigger and beefier, then I don't know whether the sort of part 2 or part 3 might be better choices. It's up to you. But that's essentially a few comparisons with a few different lines. And here's Rambo in action. Let's get on to a few shout outs now. So yeah, let's have a look at some sort of great YouTube channels and some great places to buy action figures as well. Okay, and speaking of those YouTube channels in particular, check out Dan Who Reviews for all your latest Marvel Legends news, Legends and Liquor, Turtles and Tea with Dan and Tanner, and of course Joe's and Juice with Dan, our host, Tom Mini Plastic Multiverse, and myself, talking all the latest G.I. Joe classified reveals. And of course we've got SDCC coming up, and someone who lives near in the California area where SDCC is based, Miguel and the Wolfpack Toy Review. Feel free to check out Jay's Toy Collection UK for action figure reviews in the UK and general toy news. You can of course check out Dante and the Infinity Equation. Feel free to check out AC Toy Design, and feel free to check out his Patreon. And these are all great YouTube channels. I'll put them all in the comments below. Feel free to check out Robo Don't Know. Every Saturday he does Robo Don't Know, very professional news roundup of action figure news. Feel free to check out Justin Collects. And who else we got? Let's have a little look. Yeah, Happy Pursuits, a very positive and fun YouTube channel doing lots of sort of reviews. Yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed my review of Hiya Toys John Rambo. Feel free to check out Chris at Mod Extra Games and Collectibles. He does a lot of G.I. Joe classified sort of videos. If you like film and TV, you can check out filmandtvreview.com. Feel free to check out Austin, the Hero Collectors. And what else we got cooking? Let's have a little look. Yes, if you like Mythic Legions or Cosmic Legions, check out Trevor, the 1/6 shooter, for all things Mythic Legions and Cosmic Legions. Some excellent toy photography for action figure reviews in Ireland. You can check out Brian's action figure reviews. What else? Ah, yes, the 3POA podcast. You can check them out for action figure chat and pop culture discussion. Check out Big Will, Pixels and Plastic. He does a lot of wrestling videos with the Who Crew on his channel. And you can, of course, check out Why So Serious Toys. So feel free to check them out, or him out. And you can, of course, check out Cypher Sigma for film reviews and action figure pickups. And what other good stuff we got cooking. Let's have a little look. You can, of course, check out Elson, a good friend of mine, Elson Official Music. He does a lot of covers of music and also music of his own sort of creation. So check him out. For action figure toy photography tips and tricks, feel free to check out Photo Dave and Toy Pics. You can, of course, check out Agent Z-Man on Z-Man 12 Bat. Another really good guy. Feel free to check out his YouTube channel. And here's some footage from LFCC. Now, I didn't end up using this footage. These were for unreleased episode 1 figures. These, I guess, vintage collection you could call them. But these were in a cabinet there on the Saturday when I was there with Dan Hayden. They weren't initially there on the Friday. So as you can see here, there's a little write-up about episode 1 carded figures that were never released. I was going to put these into a little short, but I just ended up running out of time. The reason I'm showing them here is to sort of highlight my LFCC video. These aren't in the LFCC video, but feel free to check that out. Loads of good content there. It was a really good fun day out. So yeah, if you've never been to LFCC in Kensington and you like the look of this clip here, or you like the look of the video, yeah, it'll be on in July in 2025. That is the best one. They do have a sort of winter and a spring one. Those are okay. Here's some sort of custom vintage Star Wars figures. Again, this was on a booth. I didn't end up using this footage. Again, this was from the Saturday. It wasn't actually there on the Friday when I did all the recording, but these are quite good. It will have the name at the end of this clip in case you're interested in any of these. If you do collect vintage figures and you like, excuse me, you like the look of these customs. So yeah, it will come and get the name of the guy who made these, essentially. And let's have a look. No More Heroes is the name. There you go. So look out for some contact details at the end of this little clip. Again, this was footage I didn't use, but it's just to highlight that there is a video. I'll put a link to that in the comments below of my LFCC footage. And yeah, No More Heroes. There you go. So yeah, if you want some places to purchase action figures, check out Blue Owl Collectibles, and you can use my affiliate link in the comments below. So feel free to check them out. You can, of course, check out Kapow Toys. Operation Monster Force in particular, Wave 1. Is available at Kapow Toys, so feel free to check that out. You can, of course, check out the whole shebang. Feel free to check out Comics and Cocktails. I'll try and put a link to all these UK independent retailers and international ones in the comments below. If you don't see them, please check out some of my previous videos. You can, of course, check out In Demand Toys. Feel free to check out Gobsmack Comics. And you can, of course, check out all the cool stuff as well. They were at LFCC. Talking of LFCC, they were there. So I had a quick chat with them. You can, of course, check out Props and Replicas as well. And feel free to check out Star Action Figures. So some great places to pick up action figures. You can, of course, check out Invincible Toys, particularly their fist figures and their futuristic combat soldiers, available on Big Bad Toy Store. And of course, Emporium McCool, which do all high-end collectibles like SH Figure Arts, Mafex, Mezco 112, all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, that's my Hiya Toys John Rambo video. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I know there's plenty of different stuff to be able to watch on YouTube, so I really appreciate you taking a bit of time out from your busy schedule to watch this. And until next time, enjoy those flicks and figs.